Good morning, friends. Welcome back. So this is the third and the final demo session on Linux server administration. Okay, so we have already discussed some basics of Linux. So all the recorded sessions are available on YouTube. So this session will be also uploaded on YouTube. But from tomorrow, the sessions will not be there on YouTube. It will be shared with the people who have joined in this particular course. Okay, so who have registered for this course, only with them, the recorded sessions will be shared. Okay. So what we did till now, let us just revise a bit. We have seen like what is Linux or what is operating system actually, what is OS. Hmm? Then we saw types of operating system. Then we saw we have discussed about the Linux operating system, Linux distributions. Okay. Features of Linux we have seen. So with these features, we have realized why Linux servers are so much in demand, right? So we have seen the features of Linux there. Okay. And yesterday we saw the virtualization concept. So in virtualization, we have seen like what is the difference between a physical server and a virtual server. Okay. And to do practice, we need to have at least one virtual server there. So we just need to take one physical machine, and that physical machine we can divide into multiple virtual machines. So at least one virtual server is needed. And in some topics, in some cases, actually two virtual servers should be there. Okay, so we know the concept of virtualization. So I hope by now you have already installed VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox. My recommendation was for Oracle VirtualBox because it is free. Okay, so there will not be an issue with your licensing agreement. Okay, done. We have seen this. And then yesterday we saw how to create a Red Hat account ID. So to download, we need to have this particular account, Red Hat login ID, right? We have created the login ID. Then we have downloaded RHEL 9 point whatever version. Let's say 9.4 version. So whatever version is there, we have downloaded that version. You can go with 9.2 also. You can go with 9.0 also. You will not see any difference between 9.0, 9.2 and 9.4. Maybe they have fixed some bugs there. Maybe they have, added some, maybe they have, added some updates. That's it. But overall commands will still remain same. I guess I'll be going with this 9.4 version. That is the latest version. Okay. So this is done. This much is hopefully clear for you. We have downloaded this. Now what to do here, friends? We just need to create the virtual machine, and then we need to install the operating system inside this virtual machine. Installation of RHEL, any version, 9.x version or any version, installation will remain same. Okay, so what is the first thing you have to do, friends? Create a virtual machine. So let us open our VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox. Let's go with Oracle VirtualBox. So let us open this Oracle VirtualBox here. And in this Oracle VirtualBox, we can go and go to this machine and we can say new. We are creating a new virtual machine here. So I'll just say new. I'll say machine name as server 111. This is the name of the server, server 111 hyphen 7 a.m. class. This is just the name for identification because see, already some machines are already created here. So how to differentiate? We can differentiate between them by using a proper name, by using a unique name. So I've just entered the name as server 111 and some class identification there is class 7. Okay, fine. Now the second thing is select your location where this virtual machine should be created in your physical server or physical laptop. So the location here is I have selected my E drive. Which drive? I have simply selected my E drive here. Okay, great. Now it is asking you to select your ISO image. So if you're not selecting ISO image, you simply cannot install the Red Hat Linux server there. So we have to select the ISO image. So where is the ISO image? You might have downloaded the ISO image yesterday. After downloading, you can keep that image at the download place or you can keep the image in D drive, E drive, anywhere. Okay, so wherever you have kept that image, you can simply install from there. So see, I'll just go there. I'll say other and see, this is my image RHEL. I have RHEL 9.2 also, 9.3 also, as well as 9.4 also. See, I'm in my downloads and I have selected my latest version, that is 9.4. Select that and just say open. Selected here. So your ISO image is successfully selected. If you're not selecting the ISO image, you cannot do the installation. Okay. Then select this option, skip unattended installation. Okay. So see here, my friend, I have entered the name here. I have selected the folder location. I have selected the ISO image and I have just selected this box, skip unattended installation. Okay, then say next. Now here we need to select the RAM and the processor. 2 GB RAM is sufficient. 2 GB RAM is sufficient to run this machine and to do all the configurations and all those things. But you know what I'll do? This is a classroom machine, right? So I'll just go with 9. I'll go with like 4 GB RAM. 4096 is how much? 4096 MB is actually 4 GB. So see, I have just entered 4 GB here. In my physical machine, I have totally 16 GB RAM. So I can afford 4 GB here. But in case if you have less RAM in your machine, you can go with 2 GB. 2 GB is also more than sufficient. Okay. And coming to processors, I'll just go and select 2 processors there. How many? I'll select 2 processors. So see, 4 GB RAM I have selected here, as well as I have selected this 2 processors. Okay. Then say next. Now it is asking you to select your hard disk. How much is selected here? 20 GB is selected. 20 GB is more than enough actually, or at least sufficient, if not more than enough. But what I'll do here, this is a classroom machine, so I'll go with 50 GB RAM or 50 GB storage. So 20 GB, 50 GB is not at all a storage capacity if you think about a production server, right? Well, this is not a production server. This is just for our practicals. How many people are connected? Maybe a couple of people are connected. How many people will store the data? Maybe 1 or 2 people will store the data. So 20 GB, 50 GB is more than enough. But in a company's network or company's server, the storage capacity can be huge. Okay, so as of now, I have selected how much? As of now, I have selected totally 50 GB of storage. Done. Let me just go back a bit. See, there are 3 things I have selected till now. One is I have entered all the details, name, I have selected the ISO image and everything. Then I have selected my configuration, the hardware configuration, how much RAM I need, how much processor I need. I have selected everything. Then I'll click on next here. Then I have selected my storage. Done. Now say next. So once you say next here, it is asking you to complete the configuration. It is asking you to say finish. Okay, so I'll just say finish here. So once I say finish, you can see here clearly one machine has been created successfully. And what is this machine? Server 111 7 a.m. class. This is a machine that has been created successfully. But this machine is in power off state. It is in which state? It is in power off state. Is it using any resources from my physical machine? No. Let me just check it now. If you go to task manager, and if you go to performance here, how much RAM it is using as of now? My physical machine is using totally 6 GB of RAM. Remember this, 6 GB of RAM is used and approximately 10 GB is still available. Okay. So it is not consuming any resources because my virtual machine is in power of state. Now what to do, friends? Right click on this, go to settings. In this settings, we have to do some, you have to make certain changes here actually. Like go to the storage option and select the storage as your RHELE, whatever the ISO DVD is, just select that. Okay. Then go to the network option here. In network option, select the option as host only adapter. What to do in network? Select the option as host only adapter. Okay. Then go to this USB option. Okay, USB is quite clear here. So go to the network and do this. Go to storage and select your storage. Fine. And then go to system actually. So in this system, we have certain options to change. So what is the option selected here? There is something called boot order here. What is the meaning of booting? Booting means how the computer should start or how the computer should load the operating system. That is the concept of booting. So we'll see booting concept in great details in coming classes. But as of now, booting means how the machine should start. So now it is selected as floppy. Then it is selected as optical drive. Then it is selected as hard disk. Now see, how many of you know what is floppy actually? You know, hard to believe that anyone's still using a floppy. No one is using floppy. Floppies are outdated. But still that option is available there for some reason. Okay, so before the DVDs and the CDs came in late 1980s and early 1990s, or let's say till late 1990s also, there was a disk called floppy disk. So here the option is selected as floppy. So what I'll do now? I don't want to use the floppy. I cannot use the option as floppy. So I'll just remove this floppy option here first of all. I'll select the optical drive and I'll make it up. I'll bring it up. I'll select the hard disk. I'll bring it up. So what I'm asking here is I'm asking my computer, that is a virtual server, to install my operating system or to boot my operating system from the optical drive. Then from the hard drive. So as of now, it will boot from the optical drive. And in case if it is not available in the optical drive, then it will go to the hard drive. But you know, the first option should be optical drive every time whenever you are selecting, whenever you are installing this operating system in this virtual machine. Got it? So make these changes here. Now, after making these changes, there is one more change you have to make here, my friend. See, how many of you know what is this PS2 mouse? Again, this is completely outdated. I remember like 2005, 2006, we used to get this PS2 mouse. There was a connection called PS2. So those connections were available back in those days. But as of now, these connections are not at all available. So what I have to do now, I just need to go there and select anything that is related, that is starting with USB, USB tablet or USB multi-touch or USB, touch screen, whatever. So I'm just selecting USB tablet there. Okay, so if you select this option as USB tablet, then only your virtual machine performance will be much better. If you select the PS2 option, your machine will give some errors. Your machine will not work properly. Okay, so make sure you go to the system option. You go to the system option. In the system option, select the boot order as the optical drive first and the hard disk second, and then go and select this option as USB tablet. In the pointing device, we have to select the option as USB tablet. Done. And in the storage section, storage is already added there. Fine. In the network section, we have selected host only adapter. Fine. And all the other options should be like kept as by default. No need to make any changes. Okay. See, we are still creating our EC2 machine, my friend. Sorry, we are still creating our virtual machine. Once the creation is done, once you select everything, and once you power on this machine, your installation will begin. So first, create your EC2 machine. Sorry, create your virtual machine. Actually, EC2 machine is also a virtual server, but it will be used in AWS. So I'm just, misusing the terminologies here. Okay, so never mind the virtual machine, right? So first, create your virtual machine. Then install RHEL 9.x in that virtual machine. Got it? So creation is nearly done. I'll say okay. So everything is successfully done. What to do now? Can you see? Select the machine here. Can you see the start option here? Just click on start. So once you click on start, it will open a new window here. See, a new virtual machine has been created successfully. I'll just click inside and use some arrows. Now see here, friends. This is a virtual machine, and can you see? It is showing you install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.4 version. Yes. Second option is it is asking you to test. It is asking you to test this media. So if you're using a CD or a DVD, then we have to test. But right now, there is no need to test anything there. So do not go with the second option or the third option. No use. Just go with the first option. Select the first option as install the Red Hat Linux. Okay, so I'm not troubleshooting. There is nothing to troubleshoot here. If you want to use this on a physical server, then maybe we can troubleshoot and see if there is any problem. So as of now, there is no problems. I have simply selected install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.4 version. So once I press enter here, the installation will begin. Don't worry, this screen will be maximized automatically. See, the installation of Red Hat Linux has started. Now the screen has automatically expanded, right? So without installing the Linux server operating system, like I said to my friend, you simply cannot go there and do practicals. So yesterday class was all about the downloading of softwares, okay? The RHEL ISO image as well as the Oracle VirtualBox software. Today, by using this Oracle VirtualBox software and by using that RHEL ISO downloaded file, we are installing this software here. So from here, whatever we do, it will be exactly like what you do on a real server. There is no difference. Fine. Only this creation of virtual machine in a Oracle VirtualBox will be different then. There will be actually a server on your cloud. So if you're using a server on cloud, there is no need to install anything there. Automatically, the server will be ready with an operating system. But we are the Linux administrator, so we should know how to do the installation because, every company is not yet connected to cloud, right? I can say most of the companies are connected to cloud in some way or the other way, but not like, everything is running on cloud as of now. Okay, so some companies are still using their servers within their company, within their private data centers. Okay, so in that case, we still need to install this particular RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux software there. So it is a time consuming process for sure. It will take some time. So initially we'll just go with all the steps. Then once we start the installation, it will take at least 30 to 40 minutes. So for that 30 to 40 minutes, we are not waiting here. So once you select each and every option, then later on it will do the installation. It will complete the installation. Okay, see here, my friend, what it is doing, it is asking you to select your installation process language. So should I go with like English, or should I go with like, French, or should I go with like Arabic? Should I go with any other language? Let us see the other languages, the other Indian languages. Can you see Gujarati here? You can say Gujarati. You can say Kannada. We have like Malayalam, Marathi. We have many Indian languages. Punjabi, Odia, Orissa language, right? So we have all these languages. Tamil, and say Telugu is also here. Urdu. So these are some of the Indian languages we have, right? Okay. So oh, I have just selected Urdu, so it has taken Urdu. Uh, okay, I need to quit the process. I need to come again because Urdu was by default selected there, so we cannot continue in that language. Anyhow, I just restarted, so just wait for like 5 to 10 seconds. We'll again go back to that particular page, and there we will select our language as English for sure. Okay. Okay, I need to come back again, my friend. Sorry for this inconvenience. Okay, I'll just power out this machine. I'll do one thing. I'll just delete this machine completely. Remove, delete all the files, and it will take at least 2 minutes for me to create this new machine. So sorry for this. Server 1117 AM. IOS image. I'll select this latest one. Skip. Next. So how much GB RAM I'm using here? 4096. That is 4 GB. You can go with like 2 GB, more than enough. Processors too. Say next. Hard disk, I'll go with 50 GB. If you want to stick to like 20 GB, you can stick to 20 GB. See, whatever I'm using here, 50 GB RAM, 50 GB storage, 4 GB RAM, 2 processors. Remember, it will take everything from our physical machine. So make sure you have that much physical resources available, that much free physical resources available. Then only you can configure, or then only you can assign all these resources here. If you're having only 4 GB RAM in your laptop, then you cannot install this by using 4 GB of RAM for your virtual machine. No way possible. Okay, so I have just started this machine. Okay, so first of all, right click and go to the settings here. Remember, in settings, we have to make some changes in system. What changes? Remove this floppy because we're not using floppy. And just make this optical drive on the hard disk as your first and second boot order. And coming to this mouse pointer, select your USB mouse. Okay, go to storage. Yeah, your RHL DVD is already attached there, no issues. Okay, go to network here, change the network setting to host only adapter, and automatically it will be selected as the virtual host adapter. That's it, nothing else. Say okay. Now start that machine. Right, select the first option, install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Whatever version you are installing, select that. Like I said, friends, this is our last demo session. From tomorrow, the link will change for sure. So people who are interested, they can simply, do the due process, contact the management, and just follow the, what they say. So they will change the link tomorrow, and the new link will be updated tomorrow. So from tomorrow, all the sessions will be shared with people who have registered for this particular course. In case if you're not able to do this installation process, hopefully Saturday or Friday, we can, simply I can access your desktop by using this software. Any desk, install this software in your machine. So in case if you're stuck anywhere, it's not a big deal to install a virtual machine, Oracle virtual machine, but still in case if you're stuck anywhere, keep this software in your machine. I can access your desktop remotely and I'll help you out. I'll do the basic configuration so that, once your server is ready, then you can do all other practicals there. So within few seconds, probably we will go back to the main screen again where we have selected some other language by mistake. Okay, so I'm not making any mistake here now. I'll just select it English here. Now, is it UK English, United States English, India English, Australia English? What English? See, I'm in India. My company is in India, so I'll go with this India English. What happens if you select UK English? See, in case if you want to take support from the RHEL team, in case if you want to take the support from the RHEL team, then if you select UK, UK team will support you. If you select, let's say, Singapore, then Singapore team will support you. If you select India, an Indian team will support you. Got it? That's the way it will be done. So it's better in whichever country the server is there or in whichever country the company is there, select that particular country because, according to the time zone and all those things, the timings will match and, you'll get a proper team to support you in case if there is any problem in the configuration of the server. Installation is quite simple, but I'm talking about the services configuration. So then we have to get the support from the team. Okay, so I have selected English, India. I'll say continue. Now see here, my friend, there are certain things we need to understand here carefully. First of all, the keyboard again, I have selected the keyboard as India, done. Okay, language support, that also I have selected India, done. Time and date, see, can you see the cursor here where it is right now? It is showing the city as Kolkata. So that means I have selected my Indian time zone. If the server is somewhere in Dubai, then go and click the cursor on that particular location. It will select that particular time zone. So Kolkata is the time zone for India. So you can go and select anywhere in India. It will still show as time zone. It is not like if you're clicking here, it will show Mumbai. No, you have just click in the geographical part of India. So it will show as the Indian time zone as Kolkata. Done. What is the time now? It is 7:33 a.m. Will you go with like 24 hours or like 12 hours? If you go with 12 hours, it will show AM, PM. If you go with 24 hours, it will show like, up to 24 hours. Done. It's up to you. And what is the date? 9/10/2024. Everything is fine. Okay. Now connect to Red Hat. If you want to register this particular software, then you have to connect to the Red Hat. You want to register it? No, you're not using this for a company, right? You're not using this in a company. You're using this only for the practical purpose. So I don't want to connect to this Red Hat. I don't want to get any activation key there. Okay. So I'm just ignoring this. Now installation source. Installation source is already selected there, right? Already selected as your DVD. So I'm not making any changes in the installation source also. Now the next thing is actually a big thing. Software selection. See here, my friend. Will you install this Red Hat Linux with multiple softwares like say web server or a file server? Can you see file server? There is a mail server. Okay, there is a network server. Okay, there is a Windows file server. Okay, there is a virtualization tool. There is a DNS server. See, first of all, in one server, you're not installing in this many services. No way. If you install this many services in one server, your server will go down for sure. Okay, so you're not installing this many. Let us just go with, let's say, file server. You want to configure this machine as a file server? Select. But is it mandatory to select here itself? No. You can do the installation as a normal installation. Then later on, you can do the installation of file server or a email server or a web server. Okay. So it's better you just, while installing, see these options, what are the options available, but better not to select anything. Okay. So this option is server with GUI. Server with GUI means graphical interface will be there as well as command line interface will be there. So I'll go with this option, server with GUI. I'm not installing any other additional service there. Okay. Just say done. So in Windows, we will get OK, right? In Linux, we will see done. In most of the cases, we will say done. Or if you want to stop, we will say quit, something like this. Okay. Now, installation destination. Installation destination should be where? Installation destination should be on this particular hard drive, right? Remember how much hard drive we have selected here? We have selected 50 GB hard disk. So that 50 GB hard disk is automatically selected here. And top of this, we are installing this RHEL. So select this and just say done. Selected. Now, what is this kdump? It's a very important part of our Linux administration. We will see at some other time. Okay, kdump is a place where, all the logs and all the other information will be available. As of now, just ignore this. Keep it like that only. No need to make any changes. Okay. Then jump to this network and host name. In this network and host name, we assign the IP address to this machine. I'm not sure how many of you know the IP address concept here. IP address concept we will see in great details in AWS class. It will take at least 5 classes to understand the IP addressing. It's a very big topic, very, very important topic. But as of now, just follow what I'm doing here, my friend. Just blindly enter the numbers that I'm entering here. Okay. So let me just go back. This is the main screen, right? So go to this network and host name. Okay. Then this is your Ethernet. Ethernet is your NIC card. Okay. So enable this Ethernet and click on this configure. So once you click on this configure, you will see certain options here. One of the option is IP version 4 settings. I hope you can see here IP version 4 settings. Okay. So in this IP version 4 settings, right now the option is selected as DHCP. So we should not select this option as DHCP here. So what we do here, friends, go to this IP version 4 and select the option as manual. That means I am entering the IP address manually. So what should be the IP address? Click on add here. And my IP address is, let us say 192.192.168. Let me check my machine address. Just a second, please. Okay, so I'll be entering the IP address as 192.168. Let's say 10.111. This is the IP address I'm entering there, my friend. So just enter this IP address blindly and go to this net mask. It will take some net mask there. So net mask will be like 255.255.255.0. I can just enter the same net mask there. And coming to default gateway, enter the address as 192.168.10.100. DNS server, I will enter 192.168.10.111. So just follow these instructions, my friend. I know as of now you have zero knowledge of IP addressing concept, what is this gateway, what is this DNS and all those things. If I start explaining all these things now, it may take at least a couple of classes for me. So we will see these things when the topic comes. So as of now, just blindly enter the addresses what I have entered here. Okay, so actually my server IP address is 192.168.10.111. This is the IP address. Okay, so just say save here. That's it. Can you see the IP address now? The IP address is 192.168.10.111. This is the IP address in my machine. Okay. Then what to do? Then say done. Okay, there is one more option here. That is your host name. I'll assign the host name as server 111. This is my name of the server. So every time it will show the name as server 111. Done. No problem. So I'll just say done here. Fine. I have selected my IP address also. So coming to the security profile, nothing much in the security profile as of now. Keep it like that only. Okay. But now go to this user settings. See, by default, in a Linux server operating system, we have a user with the name root user. ROOT. Root is the most powerful user in Linux. Root user is the administrator. Root user can do anything. Root user can create multiple other users. Root user can delete any user. Root user can make any changes. So root is indeed the most powerful user account we have in the Linux server operating system. Take any Linux. Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu Linux, SUSE Linux, CentOS, Kali, any Linux, root is indeed the market leader. Root is indeed the main account. Okay. Linux is indeed the, a very famous operating system. In Linux, we have like Red Hat and Ubuntu and all those things. So if you take any Linux server operating system, root user will be the default administrator account there. Okay. Now, for this root account, we need to enter a password. So what password? I'll be entering the password as, let us say, I'll show the password. This is the password I'm using here. India@1947, India@1947. So it is showing the password as a strong password. Your password should contain capital letter, small letters, numeric numbers, as well as the special characters. So if you use all these four, and if your length of the password is 8 or more than 8 characters, then it is considered as a strong password. It will not accept the password as, let's say, if you give your name like, Nilesh or Rohit, it will not take that password. It will not take a password with plain text. It will with these options. Okay. Password should be complex. It should contain capital letters, small letters, and all these things. So let me just say done here. Let's see what happens now. Done. Your password has been assigned to this root user. Now there is one more user account here. Let us click on this user account here, and it is asking you to create a new account. So I'll say the account name as Shakeel. I'll be creating an account with my name. So I'm just entering the name as Shakeel here. For this Shakeel account also, I'll create a password. India@1947. India@1947. Actually, this password is not recommended because it's a very easy password. But still, I'll be using this password for practical purpose. India@1947. So just said done. So see here, my friend, we have assigned a password to the root user, and then we have created a new user with the name Shakeel, and we have assigned the password for that user also. Now what? Nothing. Everything is done. Now, if I just click on this begin installation now, the installation of RHEL will start. Can I do that now? Let's see. I'll just say begin installation. Now the installation process has started, my friend. This installation process will take around 30 minutes, 25 to 40 minutes. It will be completed between 25 to 40 minutes. So there is no need for us to wait for like 25 to 40 minutes. Once the installation is finished, I will keep this machine like that only. This is a virtual machine. I can shut down the virtual machine, or I can simply pause the virtual machine. Pausing the virtual machine means I can stop the machine at that particular moment only. So that option is available in the virtual machine. So I will simply pause this machine. So when you come tomorrow from the same place, we can start the other things. Okay, so the installation is started now. Once the installation completed, I will simply pause the machine. So tomorrow we can see, after installation is completed, how to enter inside the machine, how to connect to this machine, and what we can do inside that machine. All these things we will see tomorrow. Okay, so today is the last day of our demonstration, friends. We have done with all the demos. From tomorrow, we will change the link. The management will share the change the link. So whatever things you have to do with them. So if you are interested, just try to proceed with all the other things so that you will get a new link for tomorrow's session. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. I'm here for like a couple of minutes. If there is any doubt, any question, we will see. At least we can stop the session for the day. Okay, fine. So I guess there are no questions here. So we'll stop the session here, and this installation will continue for next at least, like I said, 30 minutes or so. After that 30 minutes, the installation process will be done. Okay, let me show you one thing here. If you go to my computers, task manager and performance option, see now how much resources it is using now. It is using 9.3 GB, my friend. Why it is using 9.3 GB now? It was using approximately 5 GB, right? But now it is using 9.3 GB because the virtual machine has started working inside my physical machine. So virtual machine will consume all the resources from the physical machine itself, right? So now it is using this much. So see, only 6.6 GB is available for usage. So if you assign only 2 GB, that is also sufficient. Some less resources will be utilized, and you can simply use your machine in best way. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day, friends. We'll meet again tomorrow at same time, and we will see what we can do after the installation process. Okay, thanks a lot, friends. Bye.